A cop hosts a birthday party at home for his son. During the gathering, his wife notices he is still carrying a firearm and reminds him to put it away.
Ryan, can't you stop being a cop for one day?
Their son pretends to shoot him with a toy gun, and the family shares a brief, lighthearted moment. Suddenly, 3 armed intruders wearing clown masks enter through the backyard. Without warning, they open fire. Everyone in the house is shot, including the wife and son. The officer is also shot and left for dead, but he survives. He visits the graves of his family. His former superior tells him that the attackers were part of a criminal network, but the man behind the orders has vanished.
Besides, those 3 are just local muscle drill heads. We're going to find the rest of them, the ones that got away, the ones that planned it, and those assholes are going to pay, you have my word.
No arrests, no resolution.
Where are they?
He begins investigating on his own. Eventually, he finds several of the attackers gathered in a remote house, playing cards and drinking. He enters and eliminates them one by one with precise gunfire. However, this was only part of the group. He knows these men were not the masterminds, only enforcers. Now, he turns his attention to the ones behind it all. Ryan Varrett, a solitary man driving through long stretches of open highway in a black Plymouth GTX. On the passenger seat lies a map, alongside newspaper clippings. One article stands out: convicted rapist released. Elsewhere, in a wooded area, 3 men are hunting. One of them separates from the group and moves toward a cliff to track a rabbit. Unexpectedly, Ryan appears and disarms him. A brief fight breaks out. Ryan quickly gains the upper hand, pins the man, and accuses him of being Dale James Burrows.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. You got the wrong guy.
The man pleads and denies at first, but when Ryan mentions the name of one of his victims, Mary Ann DeRosa, he finally confesses.
Yeah, I remember.
Ryan says nothing more.
I want you to remember Mary Ann DeRosa before you die.
He throws him off the cliff, killing him. That night, Ryan has a disturbing dream involving masked men pointing guns at him. He wakes suddenly and starts cleaning his pistol. The next morning, he stops at a diner for coffee. A waitress named Dakota asks about his destination.
You ain't headed to Hope, are you?
Ryan mentions he's heading to Hope. She's initially shocked, then gives him directions.
Straight on the highway, exit 26.
And says he'll recognize it when he gets there. Ryan drives into the town of Hope, Washington. His first stop is a gas station, where he meets Kirby, a local mechanic. Kirby gives him directions to a nearby roadside motel managed by a woman named Darcy. Meanwhile, the FBI is discussing the case of Dale Burrows while reviewing evidence related to Mary Ann DeRosa's body. Special Agent Frank Sutton leads the investigation. Suddenly, another agent enters the briefing room and informs Sutton of Burrows' death.
Somebody just turned Dale Burrows into abstract art.
When they find Burrows' body, they note that he was thrown off a cliff and show signs of being strangled with considerable force.
Whoever did it was really strong. It was like his neck was in a vice.
The medical examiner confirms that the attacker used brute physical strength. Back in Hope, Ryan arrives at the motel. He checks in and keeps his distance, while Darcy, though cautious, seems intrigued by his presence.
What brings you to Hope?
He keeps to himself and remains vague about his plans. Outside a nearby biker club called Henny's Social Club, a man named Prospect, from a local biker gang known as the Circle, gets irritated by a barking dog.
Get the fuck out of here!
And attempts to shoot it. Before he can fire, Ryan intervenes, disarms him, and subdues him quickly. Ryan empties the bullets from the gun, places the pistol next to Prospect's head, but chooses not to kill him. When other gang members exit the club, including their leader, Drake Salgado, and his younger brother, Rex, they confront Ryan.
We got no problem here.
Not anymore.
The gang backs off, though they remain unconvinced. That night, back at the motel, Darcy mentions her deceased husband. Ryan keeps to himself, but listens. Noticing that Ryan doesn't drink or smoke, Darcy becomes more curious about his past.
Skip tracer, bounty hunter, traveling salesman. Did I miss anything?
Jockey.
Inside a docked boat, Drake is training by striking a heavy sandbag. Rex enters and informs him the man has been found.
What deal? About $1.50.
To assert dominance, Drake offers the man a chance to fight off his debt.
1 round. With me. I'll squash your debt.
The fight is violent and brutal, ending with Drake knocking the man out. Drake then tells Rex to check on the drug lab. He also instructs another gang member to follow Rex. Rex arrives at a warehouse functioning as the gang's drug lab. Unbeknownst to him, Ryan is tailing him silently from a distance in his car. Inside, workers are producing and packing contraband. Prospect casually informs Rex that Ryan is staying at Darcy's motel. Later that night, Rex visits the motel and questions Darcy about her new guest.
Well, let's just say that I'm interested in the clientele, all right?
Darcy tries to hide Ryan's name from the check-in book, but Rex becomes suspicious and punches her.
You need to show me a little more respect, all right?
He flips open the notebook and confirms Ryan's name. However, before he can act further, Ryan appears, ambushes Rex, and knocks him unconscious.
He's Drake Salgado's brother. You can't touch him.
Ryan ignores the warning. He zip ties Rex to the hood of his car and drives him to the warehouse. At the warehouse, Rex regains consciousness and begins to panic. He recognizes Ryan and realizes why he's here.
You let me go? Because I swear to God, homie, if you don't, and my brother will fuck you up, man.
Rex begs and threatens, trying to save himself. Tired of hearing Rex's excuses and threats, Ryan stuffs a cloth into Rex's mouth to silence him. Ryan then taunts him, calling out his dark past.
Like to make young girls feel helpless, beating them, raping them. Girls like Darcy.
He accuses Rex of enjoying the fear he caused during his assaults, asking if hurting young women made him feel powerful. Rex writhes and screams through the gag, unable to respond. Ryan speeds up the car, with Rex still strapped to the hood, and crashes it into the drug lab. The building explodes, killing Rex and destroying the lab. Drake later returns to Henny's social club, where the gang gathers. Prospect informs him that Rex is dead. He leads the gang to the scene of the fire. At the warehouse ruins, Sheriff Cole and his deputies investigate. Drake confronts Cole, accusing him of failing to protect his brother. Cole tries to calm the situation, but Drake is furious.
Look, you live in this town because I say you can live in this town.
He threatens Cole and his deputy son, Hedge, warning them not to interfere. Sheriff Cole admits to his son that he has long compromised with Drake, allowing the gang limited control to prevent greater violence in Hope.
Things were different back when I started making compromises. Everything I did was to keep Hope safe.
Drake and his gang raise their weapons and fire into the sky. At the same time, he comes to the church, recalling the scene where his wife and children were killed. Today, he finally began his revenge. Ryan lights a candle for them and silently mourns. At the motel, Darcy prepares for an imminent threat, arming herself and bracing for danger. When someone approaches the door, she raises her weapon, only to find it's Ryan. Darcy exhales in relief and lowers her gun. After Ryan confirms that he killed Rex, Darcy tells him plainly that he shouldn't stay at the motel any longer.
You can't stay here. Drake's gonna start a war.
Drake, Rex's older brother, will not let him go easily. She warns him that Drake runs the entire town. He's the worst of the 9 original gang leaders.
Drake runs this town. Meth, guns. He's the mayor. We're all just paying rent.
The local police work for him, and the rest of the town either look away or stay silent out of fear. Darcy admits she doesn't want to be dragged into the conflict. Ryan, curious, asks why she's still staying in town if she wants no part in it.
Mike tried to get us out. My husband.
They killed him.
She then confesses that Drake killed her husband when they tried to leave Hope. She stayed because the motel is all she has left. Ryan explains that he killed Rex because he was not only a drug manufacturer, but also a rapist. Darcy doesn't want innocent civilians to get caught in the crossfire of Ryan's revenge.
Like you got a death wish? That's cool. Knock yourself out. But it's gonna heat up around here because of you.
As Ryan prepares to leave, Darcy glances at the gun on the table, reminded of how Ryan protected her from Rex the night before. Overwhelmed by the memory, she rushes to the door and calls out,
Maybe you should stay. I mean, you're all paid up and everything.
asking Ryan to stay. The next morning, Darcy heads to the gas station to buy supplies. There, Deputy Hedge questions her about Ryan. He points out the bruise on her face, suspecting he may have been involved.
I clocked myself in the face with some loose drywall.
Explaining the injury was her own fault.
The guy staying at your place, who is he?
She keeps Ryan's identity and actions to herself. Meanwhile, FBI agent Frank Sutton receives word that Rex Salgado is dead. He tells his team Drake won't let it slide. If Ryan is still in Hope, his chances of leaving alive are slim. Ryan remains at the motel. Darcy, aware he has no escape route, offers him dinner. He accepts the invitation. At Kirby's garage, things take a dark turn. Drake's men arrive without warning. Kirby is taken to Drake's boat and interrogated.
I need to know where he goes, what he does, who he is.
When Kirby hesitates to answer, Drake slashes his hand. In pain, Kirby reluctantly shares what little he knows. Back at the police station, Deputy Hedge investigates Ryan's background. He discovers Ryan was once a decorated Dallas police officer who went missing after a personal tragedy. Ryan, in the meantime, begins sabotaging Drake's operations. He tails one of the gang's trucks, then ambushes the driver. Inside the truck, he finds packages of contraband. He pours gasoline on the vehicle and sets it on fire. Prospect informs Drake of the destroyed truck.
Cops? No, not cops.
Back in town, Kirby sneaks into Ryan's car and discovers newspaper clippings, evidence that Ryan was responsible for Dale Burrows' death. Before Kirby can react, Ryan catches him in the act.
Generally, mechanics look under the hood.
Startled and embarrassed, Kirby quickly apologizes, then invites Ryan to his place for a beer. During their conversation, Kirby shares more about Drake's operations, how he distributes contraband and firearms, getting people addicted and deeply in debt to the Circle.
You get them hooked on one or the other, and then when you end up in debt to the Circle.
He also mentions Drake's secondary base of operations, an abandoned ferry that's used to store weapons. The gang ships cargo by water or truck and holds influence across the country.
Well, this town is the hub, and that boat is hell, sir.
If any police officer refuses to accept bribes, the Circle will kill them without mercy. Ryan asks Kirby why he was looking through his car. Kirby admits he's under pressure from Drake's threats and has no choice.
I got no beef with you, but I gotta keep these assholes off of my back.
Realizing the danger Kirby is in, Ryan allows him to share what he knows with Drake, if it means protecting himself. Shortly after, one of Drake's enforcers, Crab, arrives at Kirby's station. Sensing the threat, Ryan meets him head-on. Without much exchange of words, a brutal hand-to-hand fight breaks out. Crab attempts a quick flurry of jabs, but Ryan dodges, retaliating with body shots and a strike to the face. Ryan disarms Crab and uses the same tool to strike him in the knee, forcing him down. He warns Crab to back off. Later, at Henny's social club, Drake meets with Sheriff Cole. Tension simmers between them as Drake brings up the burning of his drug truck. Sheriff Cole reveals that he has discovered Ryan's identity as a former Dallas police officer. Drake puts a stack of cash on the desk.
What do you want me to do? What you always do. Nothing.
That day, Ryan visits the pier. He checks his weapons and prepares for what's coming. Hedge approaches. He warns Ryan that taking on Drake directly is suicidal.
Look, if you move in on Drake now, he's gonna expect it. He's dug in, he's got his covers pulled.
The Circle is too large and too well armed. Hedge promises to try and find allies to even the odds. Ryan nods in respect and tells Hedge he's a good cop. Ryan returns to the motel where Darcy is waiting. She casually remarks that she thought he had forgotten their dinner invitation.
I'm sorry. Lost track of time.
Darcy asks what happened to his family. She's surprised to see him drinking wine.
They were executed.
Ryan explains that after losing his family, he didn't want to live, but instead chose to act.
The biker terror. My department helped take them down.
He adds that the gang in Texas, connected to his family's death, was protected by silence. No one testified. No one talked. Rex Salgado was just the beginning. Darcy asks why he's still here. Ryan doesn't answer directly, but it's clear. Drake is next. That night, Kirby falls asleep watching TV. Gang members sneak into his home. One garrots him from behind, while another disarms him. Drake arrives, sits across from Kirby, and lectures him. He tells a story from his time in prison. How he was violently assaulted during his first night inside, and how he got revenge afterward.
And then when I got out, I got them cops' name. Made them pay.
Anyone who wrongs him, or even aligns with his enemies, must suffer.
Man's gotta choose sides. You chose wrong.
Kirby begs for his life, but Drake ignores his pleas and strangles him to death. Hedge is the first to find Kirby's body, slumped over a tow truck, lifeless. When Ryan and Darcy arrive, Hedge tries to keep Darcy from seeing the full scene.
See, Darcy, you don't want to see this. You don't want to see this.
She realizes what happened and breaks down. Furious, she grabs Hedge's gun, but he stops her. Ryan leaves immediately, heading to confront Drake. At the police station, Drake meets again with Cole. The sheriff is visibly angry.
That was some kind of Mad Max shit out there.
He didn't agree to Kirby's death. Drake ignores the protest and casually asks for help covering his tracks.
Like I have a choice.
As Drake leaves, Hedge enters. Cole learns that FBI agent Sutton is now in town. Sutton questions Cole, pressing him for answers. Cole insists Rex's death was an accident.
Rex Salgado's death was an accident.
So he just strapped himself to the hood of his car.
But Sutton doesn't believe it. Sutton warns that if he knows it was murder, the Circle certainly will too. Cole deflects, claiming there are no suspects. Sutton leaves, unconvinced. At the biker clubhouse, several gang members lounge around the billiard table. Tension builds when cue ball flies off the table and is caught midair by Ryan. Crab confronts him.
How you gonna put that back?
A violent fight breaks out. Ryan fends off multiple attackers using fists, improvised weapons, and sheer precision when Crab pulls a gun which is hidden beneath a table. The bullet strikes the gang member instead. Ryan then disarms Crab and knocks him out. He loads Crab's unconscious body into his car and drives away. Later, Drake returns to the clubhouse. Prospect enters to report on the search for Ryan. Then a loud car horn outside draws their attention. They find Crab tied up and set on fire. Drake explodes in rage and orders Prospect to find Ryan at any cost.
Kill him.
Back to present, Deputy Hedge is in the woods, shooting cans as target practice. Sutton joins him. Hedge reveals that the Circle was once a protective biker club. Under Drake, it turned into a violent drug cartel.
Hope was like a frog in water. Turn up the temperature gradually. The frog doesn't even know he's cooking.
Ryan, listening from a distance, hears everything. Inside Henny's social club, Drake and his gang prepare for an ambush. Meanwhile, at the motel, Darcy naps on the couch. A subtle sound, metal clicking, wakes her. She grabs her pistol and quietly calls out to Ryan, who is in the room. Outside, Drake's men surround the building. Ryan quickly instructs Darcy to stay low and away from the windows.
When I give you the signal, turn the lights off.
One of the gang members slowly opens the front door and begins shooting blindly into the dark after Darcy turns off the light on Ryan's order. Ryan takes advantage of the shadows and neutralizes each one in close combat. When the gunfire stops, Darcy turns on the lights. But the danger isn't over. A final gang member bursts in. Darcy shoots but misses. Ryan finishes him off with 2 precise shots. Realizing they are not safe, Ryan grabs Darcy and leads her to the back exit. However, more gang members are waiting. Ryan is struck from behind with a metal rod and knocked unconscious. Darcy screams as she is captured and dragged into a truck. The next morning, Deputy Hedge and Agent Sutton arrive at the motel. They find the aftermath. Bodies inside, but no sign of Ryan or Darcy.
They took her, I know it.
Sutton quickly concludes that they were taken by Drake. He tries to contact Sheriff Cole but receives no response. Ryan regains consciousness tied to a chair inside a docked boat. His hands and feet are bound. Drake sits across from him, calm and menacing. Darcy is also brought in. He threatens Ryan.
Unlike Rex, I don't like hurting women. But unfortunately, Prospect there does.
Drake speaks coldly, claiming Ryan now understands the pain of losing loved ones. He then leaves, ordering his men not to kill Ryan, yet. Once alone, Prospect punches Ryan repeatedly. He brandishes a knife, saying he would kill him if not for Drake's orders.
If it were up to me, I'd just cut you into little bits and feed you to the pigs.
As he continues taunting, Ryan breaks free from his restraints and fights back. He knocks Prospect out with a clean series of punches. Ryan moves through the boat, fighting his way through several armed gang members in close quarters. He eventually finds Darcy tied up at the end of a hallway. He cuts the rope and leads her to escape. Meanwhile, Deputy Hedge returns home only to discover that his father, Sheriff Cole, has taken his own life, an act intended to protect Hedge from the Circle. Hedge contacts Sutton. Together with a team of federal agents, they arm themselves for a rescue mission. Inside the boat's cargo hold, Ryan and Darcy enter a storage area stacked with smuggled goods.
What do you think this much product is worth?
From the shadows, Drake emerges. He tells Darcy to leave, suggesting this is between him and Ryan. Drake reveals that he was the one who confirmed Ryan's supposed death after the massacre of Ryan's family.
Thought you were dead. What's this, vengeance?
Now, face to face again, he recognizes Ryan not just as the man who's been dismantling his operation, but as the Dallas cop who once helped put him in prison. Blaming Ryan for his brother Rex's death, Drake is seething with rage. Without hesitation, the fight begins. Ryan lands the first punch, but Drake counters with a blow to the stomach and smashes him into a table. Drake grabs a sickle and slashes Ryan's shoulder. When the sickle gets stuck in a crate, Ryan seizes the chance. He hits Drake hard and headbutts him. He lands a punishing 3-hit combo, 2 punches followed by a final knockout blow. Drake collapses to the floor, apparently defeated. Darcy appears, breathless and shaken.
You should make sure he's dead. They always...
In a sudden, final moment, FBI agent Frank Sutton arrives, striking Drake. He collapses for the last time, dead. With Drake gone, the Circle collapses. The gang's stranglehold on Hope is broken. In the aftermath, Sutton points a gun at Ryan but decides not to arrest him.
You were a good cop. You only take out the bad guys, I get that.
Deputy Hedge is promoted to sheriff and begins rebuilding order in Hope. Darcy, who had spent years trapped in fear, decides to stay and reclaim her life. Ryan prepares to leave, as he always intended. Before departing, he promises to send Darcy postcards to let her know where he ends up.
Take care of yourself, okay?
I will do my best.
Ryan returns to his black Plymouth GTX. Without a word, he drives away.